Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and welcome to another PokeMMO Lunar New Year event video in 2026. It's currently day 3 of the event. There's only about 10 days left. The time is ticking down. I'm honestly hoping we see some sort of extension on this event with all the madness and all the bugs going on, but that's a different discussion for a different day. Today, I'm here to show you guys all of the new vanities from the event and then give them my own personal ratings on a scale of 1 to 10, or I guess 0 to 10, and also show you guys the prices on day 3. Now, keep in mind, all of these prices are going to change dramatically over the next 10 days or so. But in my opinion, it's always so good for the history bucks to like see what these vanities cost during the event. I feel like it's something honestly I underrate and I under kind of document. It's really cool to see the price changes on these things. And first things first, we're gonna go over the first vanity I want to cover today, the origin hairstyle. Most of the vanities we're covering today are gotten via either the red envelopes or the lucky red envelopes. There are something from the PvP mystery boxes as well. And to be totally honest with you, we never get a great gauge. It takes a little bit longer. It's only day 3, so it's still pretty early on. I don't know exactly which envelopes or which sealed products drops which of these. I could give you guys guesses based on my experience. Like, in my opinion, when I see a price tag like this, I'm guessing that this only drops from the lucky red, but that could be wrong. Usually there's just pretty good like logical guesstimations you can make based on the past trends of PokeMMO. But anyways, the origin hairstyle, a big swoopy blonde fella. I've heard this is a model after the Volo, I believe, Volo character in future generation Pokemon games. That's not something I'm super familiar with. I think this is neat. It's not really for me. I kind of prefer the mermaid. If you're gonna go a hairstyle, I prefer the mermaid hair personally. I think this is the way it flows upwards, the crown, the colorability, the stylistics of it. I think the mermaid hair is kind of just better personally. What's the mermaid hair cost actually? Mermaid hair is currently 3 million Pokeyen, whereas the origin hair is 1.8. Something to consider. Keep in mind, all my ratings today are obviously just my opinion. That's the fun when it comes to vanities. These are the most opinionated things in Pokemon. There's no wrong opinion to be had. Just be nice-ish about presenting it, right? That's all we gotta ask for. The origin hairstyle to me is kind of fine. To me, it's like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I think it's fine. It's not really for me. I don't see myself ever wearing this, but I'm glad it's in the game for those who enjoy it. And then next up is the origin outfit, which goes alongside it. It's really hard to judge body slots. I think body slots and leg slots might be the hardest vanities to judge without other contextual things, without other vanities meshing with them. I feel like the body slot and the leg slot especially are usually used to match colorings and match like textures of other vanities you're already wearing. But I'm going to give the origin outfit a 6 out of 10 because often these neutral colors, I think black and white or white and gold as you see here, black and white, white and gold, gray-ish body slots and leg slots, they can just kind of match with a lot of different things, and that makes them a lot more versatile. So I'm going to give the origin hairstyle a 5 out of 10 and the origin outfit a final rating of 6 out of 10. And this might be my most controversial take on this list. I like dumb little flowers or even dumb little accents as vanities. I like looking goofy in MMOs. As you can see, I kind of make my outfit right now as bland as possible to help show off these vanities, but I'm a big fan of looking goofy in MMOs or looking goofy in games. I think it's really hard to look quote-unquote cool in video games without crossing that like, oh, it's too edgy or too try-hard to look that way bar, in my opinion. So I prefer the goofy, silly looks. Plum Blossom Hairpin, and also it's a funny name even. It's 11,000 Pokeyen. It's super cheap. I think it's super cute. It has a little cup kind of shape to it. This is a 10 out of 10 to me. I know it's a really high rating, but hey man, I like this. It's my cup of tea. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Now, next up on the goofy train, red petal scarf. The way this swoops up is so dramatic. I could see this being a really good accent or actually look really cool weirdly on certain fits. I'm curious to see how people utilize this. I feel like this could be really cool to see in certain fashion contests later on. If you don't know, I do try to host fashion contests in PokeMMO once every few months. I like the idea of trying to do it once every month, but that's a difficult thing to maintain. Fashion contests where I gather people together over at a common spot in the game, and then I judge their outfits on a scale of 0 to 10, and I hand out prizes accordingly, kind of randomly. But red petal scarf, this is a dead 7 out of 10 to me. I think it's kind of in that upwards middle sphere. I'm excited to see how people use it. I feel like this could be used on some really cool outfits. And then red tassel hair clips, currently going for 23,500. Not a vanity that I'll see myself wearing, I think, personally. What's the slot, actually? This could actually matter, depending on what slot it's in. Does it show? Does it not even show? And what if I sort by... Is it... I'm hoping that it's like face. Ooh, nope. Cosmetics. Hat. Oh, no! Oh man, that's a bummer. This being condemned to the hat slot, in my opinion, actually is going to bring it down. That's so unfortunate. Is there also a so I've been talking about this for a while in PokeMMO. I would love to see them add different. We need a new slot. We need to like change things. I think that all of the, like, for example, any sort of like earrings. I think there are some earrings in PokeMMO. It's hard to find them really quick, but any sort of yeah, these earrings being in the hat slot, in my opinion, is a little silly because you don't get to actually combine things. Or the vampire fangs. I think a lot of these vanities, vampire fangs, this should be moved to the face slot. I think the face slot is decently new. We really only have the Santa beard there, but we could change a lot of these older vanities and add them to the face slot. Then that would allow us to wear a hat. Why can we not wear a hat with vampire fangs, or a hat with earrings, or a hat on top of these hair clips? I feel like that would make a lot more sense, allowing the layering. Like, man, with that, oh man. I like these vanities. Not for me. I wouldn't really wear them personally. They are kind of cute, like cute and silly and goofy. They kind of fit that vibe, I guess. Man, I had these listed at a 7 out of 10, but I think it's much lower now. Now that I know they're a hat slot, these go down to like a 4 out of 10, maybe a 4.5 if I'm being generous. But that's how brutal being condemned to the hat slot is. If you're like a small little accent like this, especially like stuff like this. I mean, so is the Plum, but the Plum Blossom hairpin, but that can like work in my opinion. You're just competing with so many other things. The thing you have to ask yourself is, there are so many vanities now in PokeMMO. They've actually made so many vanities over the past few years. It's crazy. Like, there's so, like, there's just the vanities that I own on my main account. And I could, like, look all the, I'm just scrolling as fast as I can through all the hat vanities. There's so many, man. They've added so many vanities to the game over the past 4 years or so. And you have to compete against every single one to equip these red tassel hair clips, every single hat vanity. I don't see this winning out, you know? I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Breaks my heart. I thought it was cute, but unfortunately needs to get moved to a different slot. Maybe we could like just like create an ear slot, but I think being in the face slot would be fine. All right, next up, the Panda hat. Not anything crazy. I would give this like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's currently 54K. Honestly, it being that cheap, in my opinion, it's weird. I didn't even realize we also have the Panda hood. I do like the Panda hood as an RP item. I think the Panda hat looks better. This is like more of a yellowish color to it. Let's look like the this looks like you have like an old like NES or like SNES console, and you like left it out in the sun and it like soaked up those sun rays. You know what I'm talking about? Those old like white or gray consoles would like become yellowed, like PS1s for example. It looks like that color, which is very funny to me. Anyways, Panda hat being 54K, I think it's a 9 out of 10. I know it's a really high score, but it being 54K and like just a cute little hat, I'm sure a lot of new players, like, this is really cheap, good drip for new players that want a little Panda hat. You know, why not? Next up, one of the more controversial picks potentially for me. I'm surprised that this one's like, how is this one more expensive than the horse plush? That's crazy. The horse mask, obviously maybe the memeiest vanity of the entire event. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Okay, you can call me cringe, you can call me dumb. Maybe I'm stuck in 2011, 2012 cringe meme era. I hated the horse mask memes back then, but I don't know, maybe it's because now it's ironic, or now we're so far in the future I do find it funny. I feel like this looks funny in PokeMMO. I love goofiness. I love it. Stands out. It stands out like a sore thumb. And I think some people, it would not surprise me if someone told me this was like their least favorite vanity in the game. I'd be like, I get that. That's based. You're actually not wrong. However, that's why it's one of my favorites, because it's so ridiculous looking. And almost ironic. I like the like ironic satire looking MMOs. Not the like, I kind of hate the like over the top, big, edgy, like, you know, flaming skeleton horse type thing. Sometimes they work, honestly, but I prefer dumb little stuff like this. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10, which I know is ridiculous. It's currently a million Pokeyen as well, which I think is like not a bad price. And then next up is the horse plush. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of this comparatively to the other sit on your head fella. There's a sit on your head, a cute little guy that sits on your head archetype when it comes to vanities in PokeMMO. If you aren't aware, there's also the like froggy, there's the pudgy penguin. That was a big one. The pudgy penguin scandal of the last Xmas event was a very funny situation. And now we have, there was the white rabbit plush. This was the first one, the first ever little guy on your head archetype, the creation of that type of vanity. 51 million Pokeyen, super expensive. This came out, this was the ultra rare event item during the event that released Shaman, the first ever event that released Shaman. So everybody was busy going for Shaman, going for the raids, and they kind of neglected the abundant shrine and the lucky red envelope. So that's why this ended up being so expensive, interestingly enough. But the horse blush, I think it's a 10 out of 10, man. I like the way that its arms kind of flop over the head. I think it's really cute. I think the body, the way it's like elongated. I didn't really love it at first, but I've totally flip-flopped on it. I think it's a 10. Also for the price, now that it's this cheap, man, 450k, like really cheap for that. Well, it probably will go down obviously as the event goes on, more supply comes into the game, but I think it's a 10 out of 10. Now, unfortunately, I know I've been giving these vanities very good scores so far and been very generous, and here is where that stops. This is probably my least favorite ultra rare maybe I've ever seen in PokeMMO, and to each their own. Let me remind you guys, to each their own. Every vanity's different. I think the developers pixel sprite work has gotten so good over the past few years. I feel like we're getting better vanities than ever in PokeMMO. This one is just not for me at all. I don't, and the one I have to cover after this actually might even be worse. This is a 1 out of 10 to me. It's an ultra rare vanity. It's already down to 900k, which is really cheap for day 3 of an event. I'm curious if this will like long term be a super expensive item, because sometimes those like vanities that are seen as ugly during the event themselves end up being like ludicrously expensive sometimes. A good example being the green Unity cape. When this came out, once again, this was also during January 2023, during that first ever Shaman event, which is kind of funny. This is now 71 million Pokeyen. When this vanity came out, like, it was seen as like gross and nobody cared about it. And now once the event was over though, everybody was like, wait a minute, maybe it actually does look kind of sick. Like the red Unity cape and the green Unity cape, some of the more expensive items we've seen over the past few years within Pokemon, reaching 71 million Pokeyen, but being released in 2023. Really impressive. You do not see like new vanities reach those prices and hold like that very often these days. Yeah, but I am sorry to say the gold hair ornament is a 1 out of 10 for me, dog. It's not I'm not a big fan of it. It's not for me. If you like it, more power to you. And now I have to cover my least favorite vanity of the entire event, which is hilariously the most expensive, I think, in the event right now. The Musketeer rapier. This is also an ultra rare. Okay, this actually is a lower score than the last ultra rare. This is a 0 out of 10 for me. I saw this, and I like to be the optimist of PokeMMO and really reasonable. I like to critique things. I like to be like positively critique things, or critique things with reason. I don't like people who just like, oh, this is dog shit, and then move on. Even when I first saw this, I was like bursting out laughing. I was like, wait, am I crazy, or is this ass? Is this ass from a butt? Like this, this looks like a little poker to me, a little rune dagger. You know, maybe honestly, when I call it a rune dagger, it makes me want to up it to like a 1 out of 10. That makes me enjoy it more. Maybe it's the fact that it's called a rapier, but it also looks like it like flops in the wind. I'm not a fan of this vanity, and maybe that'll come to bite me in the butt. Maybe this vanity will be like super expensive one day. I don't know. We'll have to see. How many? There's 8 of them in the market right now as of day 3 of the event. So I would give this like a 0, maybe a 0.5 out of 10. Now, the coolest part about the rapier, to give it the credit it deserves, is the trainer card visual is actually really good. And here's what that looks like for those who have not seen it. It also combines the rest of the outfit. The rapier sword with the full outfit in the trainer card looks really good. And some vanities look really bad in the trainer card versus some look really like better in the overworld. It just kind of depends. I think it's an interesting extra little touch. So I do think the rapier looks really cool in the trainer card, but not great in the overworld sprite, unfortunately. Probably the lowest score vanity of the event for me, and it's the highest costed one, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna give it a final score of 0.05 out of 10. But anyways, next up onto the other Musketeer items, and these are a lot better in my opinion, and these are the RP items. So these yellow items, when you see these little yellow items, it means that these are from the gift shop. These are from the limited time RP shop. So these do cost 1000 RP, 1000 RP, and 2000 RP respectfully. The Musketeer tabard. I think this is pretty standout for a body slot. I don't know if this is like a really impressive body slot. The only concern I have is how bright the blue is and how difficult that will be to match with other vanities and other colors. But this is a pretty darn good, in my, like, the best you can get in my opinion for a body slot. I would give this a 9 out of 10 as a body slot, which is really impressive on its own. Next up, the Musketeer hat. Probably the best vanity in the entire event. There are multiple styles, so you can like change the visuals of it slightly. There's different colors, as you can see. There's just so much actually with the, let's see if we can look at it in the gift shop. There's so many differences with this vanity. So you have the first, let's do like black hair, so we'll do that. The Musketeer hat. Then you have the Musketeer hat no braid, so no like long hanging of the hair. And then you have the Musketeer hat no hat. I think this right here might be the most slept on style. Just the hair is sick. No one's talking about this. No one's showing you guys just the hair. I think it looks really, really sick, actually. I think this has potential. Look at this. Look at this wise man out there fishing. I think this is based. So I think this could be really impressive. I'm curious to see, like, in the trainer card as well. It's a little, okay, the forehead, the Kaiyua forehead is a little crazy there. But anyways, I think this vanity is underrated, which is crazy considering how many people are wearing it and have it, I guess. But still, I think it's underrated. I think it's an 11 out of 10 vanity. I think it's that underrepresented right now. I think it's 11 out of 10. Now, the one thing is, in terms of investments, now this is not an investment list or an investment advice or investment portfolio. Also, I wouldn't recommend making investments this early on into the event. The one thing in terms of investments with this is, since RP, you have to factor in, since RP is so cheap right now. Oh my God, it got even cheaper during the event, 1.6 mil. Since RP is so cheap, we're going to see more RP items than normal, right? We're going to see more Musketeer hats come into the game than normal, which is not something we are super used to. So it's gonna be hard to, so yeah, there's 77 tabards on the GTL. Are you serious? How many hats? Oh wait, only 17? That's shocking. This, yeah, I think this could be really, anyways, that's maybe people are, to be fair, maybe the supply on this is low because people are just buying the RP vouchers to buy it so they can choose their color, like because otherwise you have to like pick between the colors that are all available in the shop versus go like customize it yourself. So there's a lot of things to talk about there. There's a lot of nuance, but Musketeer hat, 11 out of 10. Now, finally, we have the Noble Steed. I think this is quite good. The Noble Steed, I'm giving a 10 out of 10. I know it's a lot of high scores this event, but also some really strong low scores. I think this is honestly, overall as an event, I feel like these vanities are kind of like 6 or a 7 out of 10. That feels so brutal given the scores I gave. But the rapier and the gold hair ornament just really dragging down the pack, in my opinion, is tough to overcome, especially like the 2 ultra rares being the worst, in my opinion. Obviously, vanities of the event is hard to overlook, but the animation on the Noble Steed, man, I really like it. The animation's super beautiful. The other like alt style of it, the different coloring, I think they really used the Rudolph. We talked about when they released the Rudolph mount. We literally said, I bet they're using this as a way to test like galloping animations for the upcoming Lunar New Year event, because we knew it was Year of the Fire Horse for Lunar New Year. So a lot of players predicted they would do some sort of horse vanity, whether it was like Ponyta related or like actually Pokemon related or just some sort of generic, like, you know, horse, and they ended up going with a more generic horse. But it looks beautiful in my opinion. The animation is where it really shines. And also, one of the coolest things is, I can't really show it on today's video, I don't think, but if you're in Hoenn, you can hop to the acro bike and you can like hop around with the Rudolph or hop around with the Noble Steed. And I think that looks really funny. That, I love hopping around with dumb little mounts like this. It looks really, really funny and goofy and good. All right, but that is it. That is Patrouski's vanity, you know, full review, full coverings for this event. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like it if you did, dislike if not. Subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams, usually Monday through Thursday, but whenever possible, honestly, during events like this, I usually go live at around noon ET or 12 p.m. ET. My Discord's down below if you're looking for more information or groups of players during the event. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations do help out a ton. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. But for now, peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here. I wanted to take this second to say thank you so much for watching the entire video. It is thanks to people like you I'm able to make the content that I do, as well as everybody whose name is listed here. That's it for me. Have a fantastic day.